Okay, I'm not even out of bed and I'm doing this reading because I've been feeling it for a few days now. I don't even know the person that I'm going to be reading right now. I know nothing about them. All I know is that they're missing in Toronto, or they're from Toronto and they're missing. First, I'm going to start with the cards and then I'm going to do the tea leaves. It's so strange how things happen. I called a friend of mine that I used to work with. She was in Toronto and she walked into a store, a new metaphysical store, I guess on the west side. And it's opened recently. And she started chatting up the owner. And she said, I know somebody that would love to probably do some readings here, but she's out in Ottawa. So I got a little text from my friend with a business card attached to it. And I totally forgot to get in touch with this person, although that was the intention, because I thought I want to go do readings in Toronto. I have clients in Toronto. It'd be fantastic. Weeks went by and I realized, oh my God, I'm going to Toronto soon. I better check in with this gal and see if, we can meet and talk and get in there. And so as we're talking, she's like, yeah, that'd be great. I wanted to call you. We set up a meeting for next Tuesday. And And then just you know, out of context, I say, "Oh, I'm just recently getting into true crime readings and looking at missing people." I told her I did a little bit with Nancy Guthrie because my sister was so obsessed because she saw Nancy Guthrie came to her. So, I mean, when you get spirits coming to you, you got to do something about that. Mhm. And and I did work on the Lynette Hooker case. So I mean, how often do you hear of a case where somebody's missing and it's somebody you know and it's their friend? But this is the case. This gal's friend is missing from Toronto. Of course, I don't know nothing about it. And I guess it's all over the news there, and everybody's concerned because clearly. And and I got to figure out what's going on with that. So I've been asking this woman, the missing girl, Danielle Bartlett is her name. So I've been having a spirit conversation with her almost for about 3 days now, inviting her in to come talk to me, come talk to me. It's the same ways that I would approach if you came to me for a reading and wanted to know about your boyfriend, I'd ask him to come in and tell me about himself. So this is the technique I'm using. I'm just gonna invite her in and I'm gonna ask her to come talk to me through the cards and through my clairvoyant visions and whatever other means of contacts I have and I can make. And and yes, it's true. I'm actually in bed. I'm so sorry, but my dog is sleeping um and I don't want to move him. Okay, so I'm asking Danielle Bartlett to come talk to me and to show me what's going on. All right, so we're going to pull the cards first. I'm pulling cards because her friend at the shop is also a reader. So I figured, okay, we all read tarot cards differently and we all have our own way of looking at things. So, okay, when the cards start jumping out, we've got some magic here. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, I'm glad to see that. So I figured I'd do my spread and then Devin can take a look. I haven't met any of these girls, haven't met anybody. Let's see what we can figure out about Danielle and bringing her home and understanding why she's missing and what happened in the events surrounding this disappearance and please, Spirit, like speak through us here today so that we can help the family figure out what's happened to their beloveds. Okay, Queen and King of Pentacles. I'm not going to say anything about these cards yet. I just want them to come into the room with me. I'm going to welcome them into. Hmm. Whew. All right. Good Lord. Um, First of all, I'm already feeling so many emotions moving through me that, wow. Okay, so did anyone notice how many queens came into this reading? Did anyone notice the Queen King of Pentacles? She's coming in upside down as the Queen King of Pentacles. This is a balance between feminine and masculine. So she would have been, I feel her energy as I'm calling her into. All right, let me just ask her. I'm going to just say her name. Danielle Bartlett. Danielle Bartlett. Danielle Bartlett. Yeah, she's coming in. Uh, I never do hold back. And I know that this is a really emotional situation for family and for anyone that knows her. And she's coming in through the crown chakra today. She's coming in through her own crown chakra, just sort of floating into the reading. And, very strong character. I feel a lot of feisty energy around her. I feel a really sweet smile or some kind of dimples when I'm looking at her. I've done no research on this case at all. I just know that she's a female. I know that her name is Danielle Bartlett, and I know she's missing. Um, mm, yeah, so my first impression of all the cards is that we've got Queen, King of Pentacles, we've got King of Pentacles, we've got King, Queen of Cups, we've got Queen of Cups, we've got two aces, which are to me part of the magic and the creation energy that must happen on both sides of the veil when you're creating things and when you're living in alignment with the forces. I also feel a lot of high spirituality with this. So the Sun card speaks of spiritual awakenings and true personalities and things like that. So, and a lot of light. So to me, she feels like a light being. She feels to me like um, wow, she really does. Like she was pretty tuned in. I feel like she's pretty tuned in. I feel like she understands darkness, and as I'm looking at her, she's showing me issues with her first chakra, and grounding through. So she could have been dealing with a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety in the days prior, or she understood them and tried to manage them. I do feel like there's something that's bothering her behind her. She's looking back. All of a sudden, I'm seeing this vision of her almost like she's just out walking around. I can kind of feel the sky. I kind of feel a few stars. I wonder if she liked the stars. or the night sky. I'm feeling like, you know how when the sun goes down and it's all the colors and the golds and the reds and the pinks, and then there's the blues. I feel like this really interesting crust of blue along the sky that she's showing me. I also feel some kind of like a down jacket. It almost feels like reddish or something. I can almost see the stitching. You know how they stitch a certain pattern away. I can see that suddenly, and and I do feel cold air on me. And I do say, um, what I do in the reading is the reading, and suddenly, I'm gonna probably have to get a glass of water. Um, I feel like something catches her attention from behind. I feel like I can hear some kind of a twig snap, like something. Um, so I don't know how this relates. I'm not sure. She's just showing me some random little scenes. I don't like to make judgments ahead of time. I just like to bring the information that I see. I do see her eyes. I see her sort of look back, like with this sort of questioning, like almost like this doesn't add up. How does this add up? All right. So, um, she just keeps showing me something through her root chakra as well, almost like she's being pulled down further down into the ground. Um, these are energetics though, so this could be what she was working on um in the days prior to her disappearance. So I do kind of get the sense that she was like at some point I feel like she's either with somebody she knows and they're walking behind her, and then she turns around and that's where the confusion is. Or yeah, I just get the feeling somebody came up from behind her. And I don't think this was, I don't know. I just keep seeing like the night sky. I feel a lot of innocence in her. I feel a lot of purity in her. Like maybe she trusted, maybe she. So it's funny because I do feel like she's a light being who had to deal with some dark, like some of us go through these tests, you know, and spirit tests us. Spirit waits to see, how are you choosing, what are you doing, what is the deal here, you know. So I feel like she was being tested. I feel mother energy around her too. I feel like her mother had some information. I feel like her mother felt things too, or something. um um I do get a sense of a guy around her, somebody bigger than she is, and when I'm tuning into this energy and how she's showing this to me. Mm, and it's just amazing because, and I wonder if she was into music or was working on her own heart or was healing something around the time. I feel like she may have felt things around the time. I'm wondering, I'm trying to see, did she know she was in danger in the days prior? Was this something leading up? Mm, no, I feel like leading up. I think she said March. I think I was told it was March, around March 21st. Mm, all right, she's just not pulling me off this vision of her. And she is showing me the cold, like I'm literally feeling the kind of cold. I remember I grew up in Toronto. It's very moist cold because you're close to the lake. You know, we don't have that here as much in Ottawa. Um, it's quiet. There's not a lot going on. So I'm wondering if this is like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I feel that sense of cold footsteps, almost like, and I can feel, I can literally feel that cold of air. Um, so I'd be curious, like, was she walking home from somewhere? What was her routine? I don't know enough about her routine yet. I don't know these things to kind of be able to put a context to things. All right, so I'm gonna go back into the cards since, um, but that's what kind of flew out when I was looking at the Queen King of Pentacles. So I feel like she, on a soul level, she may have had value lessons, lessons in her own self-esteem, lessons in her understanding her own value, moving more comfortably into those parts of herself, feeling dynamic, wanting to contribute to the world. She may really have a voice. Her voice is being heard regardless in some ways too. I feel like I do feel music when I feel into this card. I feel heart chakra usually when I feel into this card. So I'm asking her to show me, why are these the cards she's bringing in? Yeah, so she would have spoken from her heart, I think, too. I guess that's it, that there were things that she was clearing through her heart and needing to talk about and needing to express, and she would have had opportunity to do that. I feel like a younger girls around her too, maybe in the family. I'm feeling almost like she had a really has a special relationship with some niece really connected to her. I also feel the niece feels things too. So I feel like, here's what I'm feeling about the family already. I feel like there's a very interesting connection through all these women in the family, that this is kind of powerhouse energy, a lot of enlightened, high frequency energies too. And like, I'm not, this is what I find so fascinating. I'm not feeling a lot of darkness around this. I'm feeling, strength. I'm feeling power. I'm feeling um emotional maturity. I'm feeling um like the God plane here. So in some ways, when I looked at these cards, I was thinking, oh my word, like spirit has a hand in every single one of these cards. Like, the only cards that aren't part of, well, let's say, okay, hold on, maybe let me say this differently. The um the queens, we like, let's go back to the cards. Queen, 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 queen. She's meant to live in her balance, powerful, full of her own certainty and her own assurances that abundance can find her on the planet, that her own worthiness in herself will help her climb through her sense. I think she was heading in the right, yeah, like, this is right out of left field. This whole, whatever this disappearance is, I feel like it's just it's so off the mark of where she was and where she was going. Because she's like, oh, She was working towards mastery. She's like, to me, she's a high level soul. She was already. So how did this happen? Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna need the teacups to take a look at this because the way they're showing it to me in the cards, it's like she's showing me what's meant to be stuff, you know? I'm supposed to be, you know, I'm supposed to be heading home. I'm supposed to be going to do this. I'm supposed to be going to do that. Like there's plans. This is not a missing because she didn't want to do well or didn't have a plan or was misguided. I don't feel this. That's what this is. I feel like she was totally on track. She was in her power. So did somebody get threatened by that? That's a question I'd be curious about. You know? To me, it feels I'm just hearing random. So my I guess my question would be, does she know the person? And it's like, oof, maybe. Like I'm not getting a no on that. But this would be peripheral. This wouldn't be, I don't know. It feels like, like even the way that I met the woman who I'm doing this reading because of, I mean, I would never have known to do this reading. So just in the way I'm like, oh my God, 6 degrees of separation. I mean, this was actually about a 2 degree of separation, her and I meeting, right? Like a friend of mine met her, bam, there we go. Like, so what I'm seeing is this is somehow significant. Spirit is showing me that somehow this all forms like, how sometimes things repeat in synchronicities. So, so I keep saying 6 degrees and so to me there's 6 degrees of separation. So let's say it's almost like if she had a boyfriend, was it the boyfriend or was it a friend of the boyfriend who may have met her on the outskirts and kind of kept a loose eye on her? It's like random but familiar. So does that mean it's one of those situations where circumstances had to be, forces aligned in such an odd way that this became possible? Mm. And I wonder if, like, that's the other thing too. Like, I saw the night sky in some kind of constellation. I'm not up on my constellation. So, and I can almost feel her understanding that sky or having some kind of significance to it. Mm, so I do feel like the cosmos is at play. Like I really feel like this was bigger than she is, even though she's coming in as a master in a way. She's a master soul already. And you know what I find is sometimes master souls who incarnate, they don't necessarily want to stay on the planet, right? And she's young, like she's in her 30s. And that these are the visions I'm getting right now, or it's spirit showing me how, there are some souls that don't want to grow old on this planet that have exit points that open when certain forces align. And I feel like she was on the brink of something really big to do in her own life. So she may, mm, I do feel spirit around her too. Okay, so she's bringing me to the Queen and King of Cups right now. And all of a sudden I'm seeing Toronto Harbor images. And I'm hearing and I'm feeling the waters around, you know how dark waters and oil mix and gas around the water. I'm hearing like I'm hearing the dull roar of a boat. Did she ever do the Toronto harbor stuff? Did she ever like I'm hearing the I'm seeing all of a sudden I'm seeing the boat that goes over to Toronto Island, and and again I'm seeing this image of this almost like red down jacket, some kind of, and not thick, not one of those big bulky ones, like thin where you wouldn't exactly be totally warm, you know, where it wouldn't be like you're kind of chilly in March still, damp, like that damp cold, and you can see the air. Um, okay, so let me see if she wants to show me anything else about that. Mhm. And the emotional disparity, in a way, I do feel a sense of, and I know what it's like if spirit, it's if spirit's working on you, like I'm feeling into the days prior to this, I'm feeling into the weeks prior to this, and what were the energetics doing in her mind and body and emotional field, right? Like she was dealing with something. She I definitely see that there was some kind of tumultuous something that was clearing. Now, does that mean she was in the thick of something, you know, really freaky? I don't know. I just feel like she was being pressed to address things on a deeper level, to be met with, I need this for myself. I need this from myself. I need this because of what's being demanded now. Like, so I feel like she was really, if there was a struggle, it was a spirit, it was like this emotional, spiritual struggle. You know, will I, yeah, hold, I just keep hearing hold value, hold value. Um, I want to go back to the mother energy that I saw in this card. So Danielle may be sending messages to her mother, one way or another. Anyway, that's kind of what I feel. Mm, I think I'm curious if Danielle was a mother already, honestly, because I keep seeing this young girl around her who just keeps looking up to her, like she's just so enamored with her and wants to spend all this time with her and is connected spiritually and energetically, and just like kaboom, like they've just got this fantastic relationship. And okay, so where are you? Did you get trapped somewhere? Did you get, I'm not hearing a yes on that. She's like, no, no. um Queen of Swords. Okay, so sometimes this card comes in around medical issues, needles, hospitals, antiseptic environments, unemotional, uncaring, and hard knocked truths. Okay, so I'm hearing someone say she saw this coming. So my question would be, did the mother see this coming? Could the mother tell? Was the mother close enough? You know, if this girl is 31, sometimes you have a really close relationship and family knows everything, and sometimes the family doesn't know everything. So, but regardless, I still feel a very strong connection here. And I do feel like somehow, um, yeah, the mother is a channel somehow. the mother's a channel somehow for her energies already. And I'm trying to look at the contracts actually. So, in fact, Danielle's sort of taking me through her mom's crown chakra here. So let me just see if I can figure out like what's written in the stars was the nature of this relationship, of the tone that she would have to work with loss energy. Oof. Oh, wow. So all of a sudden I see this image of these cords from extremely high up in the chakras of the mother, her mom's chakras, and I'm seeing an Akashic record keeper, and I'm seeing Danielle. Oh man, they're cutting. Oh, I see them cutting a cord to a contract, releasing. Let me just see what I'm getting from this. Okay, now Danielle's bringing back to things that she was clearing through her first, things that she needed to clear. A lot of times, the first chakra talks about it's not just this life, it's not just this trauma, it's not just the lifetime, the traumas that we build or we move through in this lifetime. It's a whole host of other lifetimes, and so I feel like in the days prior, like I said, she was processing something on a very deep level, very deep spiritually clearing that needed to come, that may have already surfaced emotionally, that may have been put her a bit down in the dumps or just been a little bit of a lower. You know how our energies get pulled down when we're going through things. We get pulled into the muck, and then our brains run amok with it. Our brains have their own way of looking at things and processing information that isn't necessarily of the rational form. And yet our rationale will try to make sense of it. So I feel like this cord, I feel like this cut that I just saw means that on both levels, mother and daughter have completed some kind of a contract, and that they were both working on similar elements of it. And it's, oh, I mean, that doesn't mean that she's gone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that this is Danielle telling me, oh, she's no longer on the planet, although she is, like I said, she did present through her seventh chakra, which, is usually where people, in my history of doing readings, if someone presents through the seventh chakra, they're already on the spirit world, or they are so much an ally on the physical plane that they present through the crown chakra in the living form of themselves too. So I really want to make that clear. Um, um, but this is what Danielle's showing me, that some lesson has completed, some very high, like way, this is, I mean, we're talking up in 14th, 15th, they're telling me chakra here. So if there were a soul contract that was, these are of the highest good contracts. These contracts serve all of humanity. These contracts serve not just us in our own personal lives and our own personal goals. These contracts serve, our impact on the planet, and our ability. And look at her constitutionally underneath this child is a soul awakened. And magic was what was jumping out of the cards when the energies present in a precise form. It is out of our hands. It is out of our control. That's why these cases are so incredibly sad, because if it was written in the stars that somehow there was some God intervention where she may have an opportunity to ascend in a way that she is also in service to the planet, then if that was written in the stars, then spirit would hold her to it, and that would move. That would like, let's not forget the tarot card is her final card here. This is massive amounts of change, consciousness and spiritual. It comes in often the tower surrounds a spiritual awakening over and over and over again, and crosses crosses the boundaries between here and now, and also moves the rubble beneath our feet. So to me, I mean, to me, she was in an exalted form in a lot of ways already, you know, and and in some ways, I feel like her light is better served in other places. It sounds terrible to say it that way, but this is how so she had, oh, oh, I just saw something. Mm. So I'm back to the boyfriend. I'm back to, okay, so, I'm looking at this card, and there's always these elements in the card that you don't really pay attention to all at once. Like sometimes it's the feeling that the card represents, not the little itty bitty details within the card. But all of a sudden, she's bringing my attention to the Queen of Cups, and how the Queen of Cups here has the seahorse, and the seahorse is symbolic for mating for life, that there is an undeniable commitment to someone. This reminds me of the kind of energy that, yeah, like seahorses mate for life. So let's say I picked up a little bit of boyfriend energy in there, or some kind of love interest, or somebody that was interested in her. Like this could have been maybe somebody she wasn't even maybe interested in, but had a thing for her. So I feel like I'm feeling that energy in here. So if there were jealousies, if there were resentments, or yeah, I just keep hearing jealousies, but I'm hearing another word I can't get. I'm hearing. I'm sorry. I'm asking a lot of questions because I can't quite hear it. Um, I'm just hearing. I just keep hearing control issues, control issues, control issues. So maybe there's somebody around her that does have control issues. Kind of has that weird stalking energy around it. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? I did have this feeling earlier, like, was somebody threatened by her ability somehow? Because I mean, these are the card, like I said, these are the cards of a master being. So she would have had talent. She would have had finesse. She would have had, her soul would have been working towards all the best in life, all the best. Things to enjoy, things to love, things to see, things to express. This was not the kind of soul that was meant to be held back. This was the kind of soul that was meant to just fast track to the top, you know, in love, in light, and in soul power. And I really wonder if she was struggling with her own gifts. I wonder if spirit was bringing her the information, and if it came down to Was she listening to her own intuition? I do not feel like this was somebody who ignored their own red flags in a way. Like I'm just not seeing it. She's not showing it to me as part of her energetic structure. Hmm. I mean, sometimes when I bring souls in to talk, whether they're living or dead, right? Like I can speak to them. So what I know is that they don't lie when they come in through their higher self structure or their pure soul structure, those parts of themselves, that's all part of the energetic being. They don't tell me lies, right? They're in a place where the truth exists and the truth is just fine. There was, in a higher purpose, the truth exists. So this is what she's showing me. Now, it's true that some souls don't like to harp on the details. Like sometimes when I do a mediumship for somebody that had alcohol and drug issues, they may not lead with that to begin with. They may show me a bunch of their other parts of their personalities before they get into the parts where they may have contributed to their own demise or where they may have been challenged with growth that they didn't really want to have to go through. So these are the questions I'm asking her. And if I'm in dialogue with her, then, she's going to speak to me, continue to speak to me in pictures and in these forms through the cards. So I feel that she was for sure she was an empath. For sure, um, and I also feel like, oh man, I feel like a lot of people know her now, where she may not have really been known before. Like she's showing me the part where, like, it just seems like Toronto just grabbed hold of this and it really, like, and I can see this spin she's showing me. Okay, so she's showing me something about some kind of spin. They're putting a spin on it. Okay, so let me just see. So if there's stuff in the news, is that what she's talking about? Are they putting the right spin on it? Yeah, somehow she's okay, so she just keeps showing me this image like in the Ace of Swords here, where all of a sudden all the energy just go to this spiral, bam, right to the core, like in a seashell, or at the beginning, I almost feel like she's showing me the Atlantis spiral too. It's like, here's the point and spiral. So somehow this is a healing for the community. She's saying this is an outpouring of emotion, a massive outpouring of emotion, and she's feeling honored and um she's feeling loved. She's saying things like, "Oh, I didn't realize I was that important. I didn't realize I would." Yeah, she's sort of. I don't know why she seems to be surprised that there's so much attention on her right now. Hmm. And yet I feel like she's at peace. Like I am not feeling the torture. So like I said, this is my first reading. I know nothing about this sweet little girl. I just am presenting what she's showing me. And maybe I know that we have other readings planned. I am going to look at the tea leaves. I am going to get into this deeper, and sometimes timing is everything. Spirit doesn't always want me to see, right? If it's not mine to see yet, not mine to know, then they're gonna cut me off from some of this information. But there is definitely, they do keep bringing me back to the magic card. There is magic afoot here. Um, I do feel like the other thing is, having seen all of these other women, there is a point where even if you feel you're reading one person in a tarot card, there could be aspects of other people that want to speak through that card too, and I do feel I am starting to feel a little bit more into some of these women around her. We all have our own way of connecting to the field, and I do feel like, um, I feel like I feel like she is speaking to those who know and love her. It's not your imagination. And it's hard because you're in this dense emotional space, and it's hard for you to feel the higher frequencies or to sense, but somebody is feeling her in their physical space. I do feel her around her mother a lot. It's almost like she's consoling her mother. She doesn't want her mother to hurt. She wants her mother to know that, somehow in our growth, somehow in our our promises to ourselves and our I just want to see, is she saying, see, this is the problem with when we do these contracts sometimes. She's showing me, she wants me to talk about contracts for a second. Our highest good, our exalted self, our higher self, that lives in these other parts of ourselves, that has a desire for an extreme amount of growth, especially when you live in the light, where you are of the light. You're going to reach for as much light as possible, and you're going to want that for yourself. You're going to commit to it. And then a large degree of it will be out of your hands because, of course, what happens, all that high 14, 15 chakra energy trickles down and is forgotten, as we come lower and lower into this physical body. We don't have the memory. The codes will be there in the body, in parts of the body, and parts of the glands, and parts of the cells, and all the rest of it, where we can integrate and be awakened to it as we live. And you know and sometimes when our free will kicks in, as a personality, we'll want to trump. I don't want to do that part of the lesson. I want to do this part of the lesson. I'm not comfortable stretching myself that way. I don't want to bring pain to other people, the pain of loss. I don't want to bring this. I don't want to bring that. So we'll start sort of negotiating out of some of these contracts that are already, in some degree set in stone. When they're set in stone with spirit, with creator, with the highest of the high, life force that allowed us to be here, to be in this body, to work these lessons and to work this spiritual information, then of course you're going to have, you're going to be horrified if some of this stuff comes to be, because spirit has an impartiality to how the events unfold or how the events go. They just match the energies. That's why magic is magic, because it meets the energy, the dynamic of the energy, and then it just sort of spirals, or it blows, or it just creates, right? Like that's how creation works. It takes the core energies and duplicates and amplifies. So this is what she's getting at, is that there are it was out of our, some of this was out of her, she's going back to that again. Some of this is out of our hands, how this goes. Some of this is out of our hands. It's all the different energies, all the different components of it, where we are in the planet. She is, it's almost like she's drawing my attention to, this is a sign of the times. This is a sign of the times. Like, we are meant to derive a meaning from this. So if she had a lesson to teach, if her soul contracts involved raising awareness in some way, waking up the planet, waking up a locale, waking up a city, waking up, she just keeps showing me this thing. It's like there's a higher order here. And in that case, in her words, it's like she does not want to die in vain. She does not want to die in vain. Okay, so now she's showing me law stuff. Now I feel like I'm walking through a law library with criminal codes. I feel like wow. So I think she's showing me that this is going to get into the courts. If that's the only thing that I can see about what she's showing me right now. Or there's laws that need to change. She's showing me how spiritual law is one thing. She is, if she's a victim to spiritual law right now for what she came here to do. Oh my God. Is she saying she's responsible for this? She's saying, I believe what she's trying to communicate to me is that she's an enlightened being. She didn't come to the earth to mess around. She came to the earth to prove a point, to make a difference, to to show to show us something. And now she's going back to this spiral she showed me. It's like, and it looks bronze, like all of a sudden it's bronze and it's metal and it's like this tiny dot of metal. All of a sudden it's like it's on her fingertip and she takes it and she just puts it right down on this like map. And then all of a sudden she lets go and then it just spirals right around her. And then I'm back to feeling, oh, interesting. Oh, is it metal? Is it copper? Did it rust? Is there rust? I feel rust. I feel like, you know how rust, when water, it will drip like rusty tears. She's showing me like rusty tears, like, oh, and I'm just in this emotion. Oh, and now she is dropping me into her physical body. And now I do feel her. Like I feel like I'm watching her inside something that she can't get out of. I'm seeing this blue fabric, almost like, you know, those, like some designers, they make jean tights, like they kind of look like jeans, but they're tights, so they don't have the normal leg, they cling to you, like form fitting, like that kind of a thing, that kind of blue. I feel like I'm seeing like a shipping container. I'm feeling like I'm at the docks again. Yeah, I feel like I'm back at the docks again, at the harbor front areas, like down in there somewhere. So I guess I would wonder, did she frequent that normally? Was that something that she did do? What happened there? And I think the community does need to come. She wants the community coming together. She's showing me that. She's showing me all the souls that are going to meet that would never have met because of this. All the souls, I'm seeing all this light igniting through the souls in the city. Hearing that whole song, like this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. I'm just going to do a bit of a healing on her body because she's just. I'm seeing some of the first chakra, and I'm seeing some of what I saw when I first tuned into her and how she was showing me, pulling me into her first, but I couldn't. It was like she was anchoring it, you know? Like, and all the energy was just pulling down like in this cone into this, narrow strip. And she's showing me a vision of her leaving her body right now. And I swear to God, like she's got this look on her face when she comes out of her body. She's literally smiling at me, and she's literally saying, "Oof," she's literally saying, "Mission accomplished." She is a no joke spirit. Like, she is no joke. I can't even believe the amount of strength that I am seeing in this image that she's showing me. Like, she knows she is not of the body. She knows, like, her her understanding of the point. She's showing me she really understands the value of the body in life, that our body really is sacred, that this is, oh my God. Wow. And then she's back to showing me justice. And so she seems pretty clear that justice, oh wow, holy wow, wow, holy wow. Whew. And the only card I haven't talked about is well, I haven't talked about any of the aces actually, but yeah, so music. Anyway, all of a sudden, sorry, I'm seeing back into the cards because she just dropped this imagery, so I'm just gonna kind of let that process in. I think she's basically showing me this card. Like, music will help. Somebody needs to be doing sound healing on this. Um, yeah, the King of Pentacles. Now, she came in with King of Pentacles in the feminine version to begin with. So then the masculine part. Yeah, I'm feeling her father energy in here, and I'm feeling ancestors. I'm feeling her ancestral line on the father side. Oof, I'm getting some image of, it almost looks like, I don't know why I'm seeing this, and I don't even know how to put it into words, but as I'm like, okay, so Spirit showed me the ancestral line on the father's side. I wonder where her father is when I'm feeling her actual father energy. I'm feeling him in and out, like, of both sides. So that makes me wonder if he's here close to her and just connected to his own essence. I'll just say what I see. I don't know what it means. I see her father just running in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm here, I'm there. I'm here, I'm there. So does that mean that he was very busy when she was growing up and was in and out of her life? Does that mean that there was, that she was, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that means. I just know that that's what I'm seeing. I don't have any emotional component to say about that at all. And then when I'm tuning into the father's DNA line, like the ancestors, so like the grandfathers and the great grandfathers and the great uncles and things like that, higher up, I literally see these really tall, like they're really tall beings, and they've sort of been sleeping, and I'm like, hello, hello, and they're like, oh yeah, 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 we're here. Like, what in heaven's names does that mean? I have never seen. So does that mean that, I don't know what that means. Um, so I'm just gonna ask it to just tell me more of that, because they're just sleepy spirits. So they may have not been the ones that were sort of awake, like her awakened consciousness probably came in through the mother's DNA line, is what I'm seeing. I guess that's how I would put it. I would say that her light came from the feminine side, and her promises. to awaken that part of herself here. I don't know what else to say about that. There could be a lot of radio coverage with this too, if there isn't already. I think I just saw something with this Knight of Cups that the radio may help a lot more than the TV for some reason. I don't know why that is. Maybe because people are in their cars listening to their radios, and a lot of people are in their cars in Toronto. They don't have time to sit down and watch TV. It feels like somehow radio, maybe a radio interview or a radio program, or there's interest, they're covering it, or something along that line. Or somebody knows, maybe there's a tip line. Is there a tip line for this yet? If I had to make a decision on what happened, based on what she's shown me, then I would say that she was either abducted. I feel like someone in a very loose way may have known her, but I feel like this is not her deciding, oh, I'm just gonna go over here and leave my life. No, I don't think so. This is not her leaving her life. This is something else. I mean, this is her being interfered with. This feels more like foul play. Yeah, feels more like foul play. Yeah. Okay. I think that's where I need to stop. It's so hard to tell how much of this I'm getting right, but I will be figuring some of this out when I meet with Devin and we go over some of the facts surrounding the case. I do hope that you'll follow along. I'm going to be doing the tea leaf reading next and posting that. And my love goes out to the family and anyone who loves her. Thanks for coming into my channel. Take really good care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.